This is Dr. Monocle. I play mostly top for our team.
Anyway.
And we also have Machiavelli, who's
Machiavelli, the jungler.
our amazing jungler. And I'm really sorry about that early gank, but we're not going to go into that.
Anyone who's watching this, you'll see it at 2:30. We'll discuss it then, but it was pretty dumb.
Yeah, I made a horrible mistake. But that's not why we're here. Okay. The first things first, I mean, I know we had, like, the pause issues. Like, somebody was having trouble at the very beginning, so there really couldn't be, like, done early. And we hadn't really planned to, like, invade.
Yeah, so you see it here. I mean, everyone's just sort of going to their own buffs, and then they go, oh, 80 carries having issues, I guess. Wasn't that like 55 that happened?
Yeah, it won't show us the pause, though.
Oh,
it just completely skips the pause for us. But, okay, let's talk about teams. We had planned to pick a Mumu, and we left a Mumu and Malphite open because we knew you would either, if you didn't pick one, we'd get both. If we picked one, or we'd get the other. So either way, we'll have like an even ground of just OP tanks.
That was sort of the foundation for the team, was the Mumu or Malphite pick. From there, we just sort of... The Victor mid was just something that could handle Nidalee with AoE. That was a kind of a late choice. But
yeah, to be able to poke her down behind the minions so Nidalee couldn't spear him.
The Mumu Cho was sort of the foundation, coupled with we wanted something tanky that could farm under turrets so we could lane swap. This is because Jax doesn't fare that well in lane swap conditions. He has a tough time farming under turret, so that's why we sort of made that decision with the Cho. And then from there we said, well, with Nunu we have enough of a front line and AoE to run a cog, and then Victor was simply a counter pick that fit in with that composition. I think one thing I noticed off the bat is I don't fully see a singular purpose. I guess you have something of a pokey comp with the Ezreal Nidalee. But then the Malphite Jax doesn't really fit into that meta. So it's sort of, I immediately off the bat noticed that there was a sort of a mixed comp there. Here's the fail gang.
Yep, right here.
So I queued on the Ezreal. Shows.
I was busy just farming.
And that doesn't pan out so well for me. That forces me to get back early, which screwed up my jungle a bit, but it wasn't unmanageable.
It did make me find out that Ezreal is really squishy. Now, a big problem with this is, since we're running the lane swap, most teams, the reason we do that is because most teams aren't really prepared for it. Like, they don't really know what to do. Like, right here, Ezreal and Janna you're both backing. I mean, I preferably think that's not what you should do. If we do it or if we do a lane swap, you should also try to push as hard as possible to be able to counter our push comp top. Because that's why we picked the Nunu cog, so we have the range and the attack speed buffs to be able to take that tower as soon as possible. But it actually probably would have been better if you just sent Jax top. I mean, he really couldn't like prepare himself for it, but to try to like freeze the lane under the tower and just try to farm as best as possible.
The early swap to kind of react to that wasn't a bad choice. I'm also not sure why you guys picked Jax into a Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath just has way too much sustain for Jax.
He's too tanky as well. You know, he's too big and he's too sustaining. So that's sort of when going against a Cho'Gath, you know, Jax isn't going to get what he needs out of that lane. He's going to have a hard time.
Oh yeah, another thing we noticed right away, like in loading screen, you should not take clarity.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Also, another thing was Ezreal, I believe, started with a mana pot, which I know it's nice to poke on Ez, but the Q doesn't cost that much. Just be smart with your Qs, and you don't need that, and that gives you more sustain in the lane as well. And that was the spear that Milink ate for no reason. It was like, I just ate this spear.
I believe he gets all of his health back before he goes back. I did notice like that you took the dragon pretty early.
That was good.
Which we were kind of thrown off guard by that. We were about to get dragon and it was just gone.
I'm actually going to be interested to see that attempt. I think it was right after you guys ganked MeLane successfully in mid and picked up first blood, which that's actually very smart. To capitalize on something like that is something I often recommend. You know, what a move I'll typically do, for example, is gank bot. If you get the double, take the turret, shift the dragon, and there you just quickly clean up about 340 gold per person, which is just disgusting. So that was a nice thing you did there, where you killed Victor and then snagged the drag. I think another thing that you don't see it as much here, but we notice it especially late game, is that you guys as a whole need to work on CS, I think. I mean, I can't really talk. I'm the jungler, and I'm terrible at CSing. That's part of why I'm in the jungle.
Well, they did say they were still fairly new at this, so...
Yeah.
This game to them was probably just like practice. Which is completely fine to do. I mean, when Malink, I, and Stupid Baby Name, we entered a couple tournaments before. We like purely did them for practice, just so we could be like ready later when we actually wanted.
When I was pretty new, I did a Go for LOL tournament in Europe, and we went up against like a sponsored team of full 1600s, and we got the shit kicked out of us. It was brutal. They ended up, I think, second place in the tournament, so that was also somewhat of a bad luck of the draw. But alright, so here's the play at top. I think that I don't know if you chose to stay up that earlier. Malphite was up there with me in top lane for a long time.
Yeah, I was thinking that right here, Cho'Gath was coming towards me, but then you guys actually got ganked, and I thought, oh, Cho'Gath or Malphite's just gonna be sticking to his top lane, helping them out. Which it actually was kind of a smart play by Malphite to come gank me. But at the same time, I'm still Cho'Gath, and it's kind of hard to gank Cho'Gath, even if I do not have boots.
Yeah, that's a big thing you have to keep in mind with Malphite, is that you gotta just know what kind of comp. Like, I think I'm not wild about the Malphite first draft in, is he has a really tough time ganking a lot of champions, because, you know, he's got a sort of Skarner thing, but it's not an incredibly strong ganking potential. His teamfight presence is insane, and I've jungled him quite a bit, Malphite. His ganking is a little bit weak. Coming in through try or from behind, so a thing I like to do, for example, is in the mid lane, I go from inner turret around my blue side and then up the ramp. So you literally come in from behind them when they're pushed out. That's always a nice trick, and you don't take the turret aggro. You're going to have to do stuff like that with Malphite to get ganks off, because he just simply doesn't have the hard CC or the gap close. You need to come in from the side.
Yeah, I would actually... We were kind of curious, because if you had run Jax in the jungle and Malphite top, we weren't going to lane swap. Because Jax can actually gank. But since you actually did run Malphite, we knew we were able to swap, because ganking wouldn't be that big of a deal for against me, Cho'Gath. But we did end up trading, even though, again, just to try to throw you off a little bit more. And eventually you do see it kind of works out in our favor, because I actually become like 3 levels ahead of Jax. Jax is still like pushing me and everything and trying to harass me, but it really doesn't matter, because Cho'Gath just has way too much sustain for Jax. Around what time was that that dragon take?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm at 9:30. To be fair, we probably could have done it fairly soon. There's still no first blood here. That's right.
Yeah, this is about where Malink dies.
Yeah, I was feeling a little frustrated this one. I was like, how are we 10 minutes in with no first blood? Like, yeah, because then okay, so deep there. That was a nice dodge from Italy at 9:58 on my ult. I really thought I had that. Mouth comes out. Another thing you might want to consider doing, Mouth. I mean, it wasn't so bad because my Amumu, my ganking pressure isn't that high. Like if you compare my Amumu to my Maokai or my Lee Sin, I am like in lane all day. But counter ganking is really strong, and I've translated that into double kills for lanes and for myself. Here you do a nice job of catching MyLane out. There's the ult. Yeah, that was a clean first blood. He shouldn't have gotten caught out like that, but it was well earned.
He really couldn't. He just didn't know Malphite was there. I mean, that was
right.
That was really well, just waiting to use that ult. He was not expecting it at all. But I believe this is actually where they get a. Yeah, here they go. They're actually starting to head there now. Yeah, you got this pretty early. We just had no idea. I believe... Oh, no, I do not get the kill. I didn't have enough mana for my ult.
Oh, I just saw this here. Malphite, you never want to burn your smite early. You always want to use it to secure. I know that seems safe, but, I mean, there's been so many times where a jungler has popped their smite early, and I have just come in there and stolen it. You know, just terribly.
And especially against a team like ours, we have 2 consumes on our team and a smite. So we have 3 ways of securing it.
You always want to save that smite to secure the buff, because I mean, you know, I had a game earlier today where I was playing Lee Sin, and it was a close game. They were doing Baron. I flashed, QQ'd, smited, and they had burned their smite early. Picked up the Baron. Cat and Jax came in. We picked up a Quadra and won the game immediately from that. So sometimes not smiting and securing can lose you a game. So just, you know, even if you feel like, oh, I'm safe, it doesn't matter. It's always better to just save it, because you never know. Mumu can Q through walls after all.
I've been watching both the AD carries and supports fight against each other. A thing you actually could have done a little bit better against the Nunu Cog was, instead of harassing Nunu, because Nunu has consume and he's just going to heal, you should have been harassing Cogmo, because there's no way for him to heal unless he got a Vamp Scepter, which most people don't do super early.
Well, Abe is also... He doesn't have it now, so it's not pertinent, but Abe is... or Sayo is prone to the Vamp Sept.
Actually, Malink was kind of complaining about the whole Nidalee pick, because Nidalee heals just too much. And you really couldn't out-harass just because Nidalee would heal it. And that was actually...
I think that kill there on Ezreal, I think something that you could have done better there, was actually going up that way was silly, especially against the Mumu. Like going up through river and trying to go around, especially a Mumu and Nunu, because my Q can go through walls, and Nunu is just sticky. I think that using your teleport to kind of just try and go beeline to the turret would have given you a better chance. Also, because the big thing to remember is that the best way to land a Q, in my opinion, as a Mumu, is at an angle. You don't... If you try and do it directly opposite or chasing, it becomes trickier because the little zigzag gets harder to hit. But when you are firing at someone from an angle as a Mumu, that is the easiest way to latch onto them, I have found. You know, like 45 to, you know, between 30 and 80 degrees off. It's ideal.
Oh, and actually, something I did up top was I went back and bought a pink ward, and even though I already had a ward there, I pinked it just to remove your Jax ward so that Mumu could come up top early and try to go off for a gank. And he's actually starting to come up right about now. I mean, there really wasn't enough damage to try to gank me, so there's really no point in trying. I mean, it didn't really create any pressure because...
Yeah,
when you saw me go in, you should have immediately just thought, let's go back. Somebody else is coming.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, Cho is one of these champions. There's a few of them in top lane. Cho, Singed. That they're really, especially after level 6, they're just terrible to gank. They're the worst to gank. You really tend to not to accomplish anything, and it's not because of anything you do, it's just the nature of the character. Cho becomes so beefy and has so many escapes that it's just stupid. And same with Singe, basically. He just runs away and poisons you, and you go, well, damn. Especially when you're running someone with no hard CC except your ult, and no gap close except your ult, like Malphite. You know, that's that's just fairly terrible to gank.
I do have to give props to this Jax. I mean, he was able to juke me out a couple times through that bush. And a couple times, I knew it was coming, yet there wasn't really much I could do to stop it. Because it was just so well performed.
I do also have to give respect to the early oracles. You know, that's always a good call on a tanky jungler. It did screw us a bit to have you clearing out the wards I was putting down. I didn't like that. I don't like not having vision on dragon. I actually wanted to gank you when you were doing this one, the dragon ward, but there wasn't space for it. So I know most of my commentary is oriented primarily towards the jungle, but that's because that's my perspective.
And most of mine is most likely going to be just towards top. I mean, I play top for the team, but I also play AD carry. That was my original role back when I played on the other teams. And that's all I play in solo queue, is AD carry. And that was actually really good what you did top, Jax. You actually pushed it out. You didn't push it fast enough, but I did think you were going to get the tower when you pushed after I left.
It was a bad Q, but it was also a good flash from Janna, because she saw that was going to come and she got out of that. She would have been in trouble if she hadn't.
Yeah, as Janna, you should definitely take something like Exhaust. That could have also helped you out quite a bit, top bot.
Yeah.
Or even Heal. And Heal would have been a better choice than... I mean, Heal is pretty good. It's not the best, but Clarity is definitely one of the worst support abilities you can actually take. You should try to learn how to not be dependent on mana.
Yeah.
And with a Philo Stone, you really shouldn't need Clarity. Now right here, Malphite, I saw you coming up to gank, and I saw you clear my ward. So right when you left and I saw you were gone, I just placed another ward. So maybe next time you just kind of walk back just a little bit to check. And I thought you had built oracles. Or a pink ward up there, Jax. I either thought Malphite was somehow still in the bush, or you bought a pink ward.
Malphite does a good job to sort of come there and contest me at Dragon, because I was sort of trying to clear wards and set it up. Although having carried a ward himself, it might have been a little more productive. Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, this is... Right here, I'm kind of glad I missed that, because I had asked Malink if he wanted the kill, so we could try to snowball Victor. Because Victor gets really bursty if he gets an early Rabadons.
You did a good job here. I'm watching this bot lane fight, and Malphite did a really good job of body blocking for Ezreal there. And Ezreal did a good job avoiding my ult, because
unfortunately, there's really nothing I mean, you couldn't have done much except for, like, get out earlier.
Yeah.
Because that engagement was so long, it gave me time to come all the way from top lane to bot lane.
And here's the play I was discussing that I like to do, where you take the bot turret and then you go to the dragon. Although, unfortunately, Baby Name kind of indecisively gets caught by your Jax.
Oh yeah, we didn't really expect the Jax right there. I don't really think there was much of a need to flash, though.
And honestly, we probably could have turned on him and killed him, but we didn't.
Yeah, we were more involved in trying to get Dragon, but we were scared you were all heading there, and there you are, all heading there. So I believe we actually just let you, like, have it. I mean, we didn't want you to have it, but we didn't have very much of a choice.
Did I steal this though? I might have stolen this.
No, you didn't steal this one.
Oh, that's right. I think we team fought right after it. A good thing to do in this situation. Well, see, Janna's only carrying a pink here, and Malphite's not carrying any wards. What you want to do though, when you're doing a dragon, especially when you know the team's back and you don't actually have the secured knowledge of them being dead, is to put up wards. I like to do it if you look on the left side of the blue buff where the woods are. There's the 2 sets of bushes. That's typically where they come from base. There and right where Monocle is at 240 or 238, where I am at 240.
Right here and right here, one of these two.
Yeah, because that gives you vision on if they're coming, and that lets you make decisions to disengage or not. Another thing is you never want it back somewhere like that. It's just gonna ruin your day.
I was actually a little worried because when she backed there, I kind of figured she was trying to bait something. But yeah, you should never back there because there's almost always gonna be a ward right here.
Yeah.
And a ward right here. We didn't have one there, but Tribush and Dragon are definitely 2 spots for a definite ward. I see right there we put one.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Right here, you shouldn't have gone back. There was too many of us down there.
Yeah, I think we no, do we actually pick up that many more? I know we get the Janna, right?
I think we actually killed Nidalee at some point.
Yeah, I think we actually clean house.
I know our AD carry died. He stayed in too long.
No, you should have come in there and.
Yeah, I didn't expect us to keep on that. That was partially my fault. But yeah, Nidalee did go down.
Sometimes Monocle forgets that, especially me. I have a very.
I'm an AD carry player. I mean, it was only a month ago I switched to being top, and I've been playing so much solo queue, so I've been playing so much AD carry.
You'll notice if you actually observe me jungling a lot of time, the 3 jungles I play the most are Mao, Lee Sin, and Amumu. And these 3 junglers are all fairly balls deep. I do like to make some of the risky plays.
Oh yes, he definitely does.
So, I know I have faith in my skill shots, and I know I can land them, and as such, I'm often very willing to go in there for one of these intense plays, because I also know when I have to peel with these champs. That's just a style thing. That's really a stylistic thing. I don't think it necessarily means anything one way or the other. And I think that's why why our AD carry went in there, because if I had more HP, I would have gone balls deep on that. And I think we were waiting for Monocle too, but he's just transitioned to a tanky champ.
Yeah.
We just died there pointlessly. Why is Elena?
Yeah, we didn't really expect you all to be still grouped.
What's up, girl? Hello?
But, and there's him answering a call, of course. Anyway, one thing you could have done as Malphite is, instead of getting a chain vest, you had too little health. I mean, health is a definite intimidation tactic, and that's what I like to kind of do. Right here, Malink looks like he has just as much health as Jax. And I definitely have more health than some of your players combined, or it so seems, just because of all the little bars. So you might want to buy a Giant's Belt first instead of a actual chain vest on him. I see you going for the Glacial Shroud, but...
And I know that especially on Malphite, it's tempting to get the chain vest because of your shit scales and armor. This was bad here too. We were just trying to ward out. We were
oh yeah, you guys did not even see this coming. That was really nice seeing that bush. I didn't know. I didn't even expect it. I saw them get attacked, and I was just like, dang. But you unfortunately stayed in way too long, and you got split up.
Yeah, and I mean, Mumu is just, and especially Mumu, Cog, and Vayne, or Nunu. Mumu, Cog, and Nunu are just a dangerous trio to have around. Because Mumu gives that control, Nunu gives that speed and that peel, and Cog just puts out the damage. As always. This is a scary team to be against, any way you cut it. Just, our comp is just stupid.
Yeah. And that's what we like to do. I mean, even if we do poorly in the laning phase, I mean, we still wreck in team fighting phase, because We build our team around team fights. And here, Jax was pushing bot lane, so we had Nunu go back. So we just pushed top. And I believe we actually get 2 towers out of this. And I think we kill Ezreal and...
Yeah, because Nunu's able to zone Jax by himself at that turret.
Yep, right there. That's where...
I don't know what the hell Janna's doing in this situation. I didn't even know where she was at the time. But like looking at it now, the fact that she was over there was a bit silly. She did nothing productive during.
I didn't even notice she was there. I thought she was protecting the tower.
No, she only comes in much later. And Nunu's literally, he's able to just walk around and stop Jax from doing anything useful. Meanwhile,
because he can just slow his auto attack and just make him not take out a tower.
Yeah.
Stall it as long as possible. And right here, you should not have followed. I just stayed on you.
Or if you do follow, just make sure Ezreal isn't the one leading the follow, especially against someone like Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is just too big, and it's like, I know it's tempting to poke, but it's so easy for someone like Cho or Mumu to just turn and eat you, especially as an AD carry. I think we stay in too long here, though, right? And
no, I think we actually get away.
No, I died the last second from literally.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is my second.
It was a pretty nice spear.
Yeah.
We thought he was going to get away. I mean, he...
No, I knew it wasn't because of the, there it is. Boom. Alright. Just because Nidalee is too annoying. That fucking cat form. Oh, look at me jump. Oh,
yeah, at this point, you should have kind of stopped chasing because I believe we ended up getting a kill here.
Maybe not.
We're still pretty tanky. Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't get a kill, but we do go take a dragon.
And we do force you back a bit. The cog is just too scary, and you guys didn't have enough that could get onto him. I mean, you had... Just trying to think what they could have done differently to make this team comp stronger.
They could have tried to go get Baron at some point when we were all busy.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I can think of. We got too far ahead, and I mean, and we never went and got Baron because we didn't really need it. Yeah. We were too far ahead because of our couple team fights we had.
I think if they ran like Sona Jace and then kept Malphite for the initiate / peel, that would have been okay. Or if you had replaced...
I think if they just had Sona, they would be fine. I mean, the Jax pick isn't bad, but, I mean, you don't really have too much CC.
Yeah, and the thing with Janna is her benefits in this comp. I just don't know if they're worth it. Do you need the disengage in this comp?
Chris, I don't really like Janna.
She's got her...
I mean, she's got her... She can do things, but... I mean, she requires, like, a certain team to be on, and this just isn't one of those teams.
I think it would have maybe not been a terrible choice given the whole Nunu cog thing as the Mumu cog and Nunu as a disengage.
I would have preferred the Sona.
Yeah, the ult. I mean, the Sona's a very strong counter ult.
Or
Mumu.
Even Leona. I mean, Leona would have taken out Cog fast, but I believe Ezreal was picked before Kog'Maw was. This year, you had your Jax pick, and then just us two top, our jungle and top, and then, yep, Ezreal went right before we picked our bot lane.
Yeah, but the Janna is still up in the air, and I mean, Ezreal works with Leona, works with Sona. I think actually Janna is not one of the best choices with Ezreal. I think Janna does best with some of the more out of the meta carries, like
That was actually a really nice Q there.
Which one?
The Q that you just got off on Nidalee as she was running away.
Oh yeah, I like that one a lot.
I actually flashed just so we could prevent her from jumping again by silencing her.
Nice.
That's another thing about Cho'Gath. This is
something stupid we did here, where we were indecisive if we wanted to come from behind or not, and in the end we had to like sort of walk up and go all the way around and be like, all right.
Yeah, one of us wasn't feeling the whole sitting back, and actually I believe this is a good thing to learn about mid. Malink came from behind. Now Malink, I play with him a lot. He, whenever he plays a champ with some good range, he likes to sit like right here in this spot, come around all the way back here. And on this side, it's the same thing. And he likes to be able to harass the enemy. So if he's sitting right here, and we're all, if he's sitting right here, we're all sitting blocking this entrance, he can easily get away.
I think one of the big things you guys have to work on with the team is probably picking. I think that's a big thing, just making a comp that works right. And that's something that I still don't do that well. You know, we sort of, we have it down as a team, but like, it's hard to really be like, this is a good comp, this is a bad comp. And the other thing is...
that just comes from experience.
Yeah, the other thing is that I think Ezreal needs to work on his positioning a bit.
And same with Nidalee. Nidalee had some great plays, but maybe standing a little bit further back, because Nidalee does more damage the further away she is.
I don't know why Cog decided to do that there. And he kept auto-attacking Jack.
During that part, he was just like, I'm going in!
We're like, what are you doing? He was just trying to be a bit stupid, I guess. I mean, you know, if you look at the game at this point, we are 12k up. It's sort of a bit done.
I mean, we had a strong enough lead. We didn't really have to worry about you catching up.
It's even if you picked up a Baron right now, for example, like a Baron turns around games, but not games this far apart. This is, you know.
You would have had to get it like when we were, like you should have let us get that dragon when we were both contesting it, and just gone for Baron. I don't think we had it ordered at that point. I think it was too early for us to actually ward. But you might have been able to take it just from Jack's tanking, using his Counter-Strike to block his attacks. I think he can use his Counter-Strike to block Baron's attacks. But, I mean, either way, this game was fun. So far, all the games we played, except for that one we had before this, we didn't even get to play it. But they were all fun before that.
Oh, you see me lag out here. So you see me put 3 wards in the same place. I was trying to ward it, but I lagged out. And so I was like, ward. Why the fuck isn't it working? I think I just stand here stupidly for a bit, and I'm like, oh, there's the wards. I don't know, I'm still lagging out here. Alright, now I'm back in it. Yeah, so there's no meta there with the 3 wards. That was just 3 wards that were placed by accident.
Right here, you guys kind of got like a little bit out of place.
Oh, that was such a bad cue from there.
Ezreal did have some good positioning, but we kind of just ran towards him.
And so you see a Janna ult go out that I really did not understand. You know, it was... I know you're trying to push us off your turret, but we had more or less disengaged. And you actually walked...
I think it was the save... Ez. I think she probably thought if we got some form of CC on Ez. It was right there. I mean, at this point, you could kind of tell it was clearly over. But...
You just look at the hard CC, though, and even soft CC comparatively, the amounts there is, and it just makes such a huge difference.
Yeah, we had 2 range CC abilities that are AoE, which was... Yeah. Kind of devastating, but we're not like super pro, so don't think we're like godlike.
No, don't flatter yourself saying that, dude.
I mean, we're I like to think we're pretty good at team fighting.
Yeah, I think that's where we do best.
But yeah, I mean, those are just some of the things you can work on. Is there anything you want to like bring up? Okay, I think he left. But, yeah. I hope you, learn from these tips we've given you and, do a lot better in your next game. And, let me know how you do, because, I would like to know. So, I'm Dr. Monocle, and I play top lane. And
I'm Machiavelli, and I play, jungle / M captain, although Monocle does all the work.
Yep, I do all the work. I'm gonna do all the work for this video. Guarantee it.
The difference, though, I got that map awareness. He's got that working man's genes.
I got that 3008. You got that 2,000 in late.
I don't even know what
Boom,
that means.
boom, boom. Okay.
Alright.
Thanks for watching.
Indeed.
Thumbs up, subscribe, all those dilly-dallies. I like that kind of stuff, so.
Never subscribe to him, he's the devil.
I'm gonna kill you.